Welcome back to the video. Today, we're diving into the incredible true story of the 2018 Tham Luang cave rescue and operation that defied the odds and captured the world's heart. On June 23, 2018, the world was captivated by an unprecedented rescue operation unfolding in the deep recesses of northern Thailand's Tham Luang cave system. 12 boys, members of a local football team, and their coach had ventured into the cave to explore, but became trapped when a sudden monsoon storm flooded the narrow passages. For over 2 weeks, the boys and their coach endured the harrowing isolation of being trapped deep underground, with no way to escape. But this was not just a tale of those in peril. It was also the story of the brave cave divers who risked their lives to reach them. Among the volunteers were seasoned cave divers from around the world who knew well the risks of cave exploration dangers that included flooding, getting lost, and suffering from decompression sickness. Yet they were undeterred by these risks. The following is the story of how they became integral to one of the most daring and complex rescue missions in history. Before delving into the specifics of the Tham Luang rescue, it's important to understand the unique challenges that cave divers face. Unlike regular scuba diving, cave diving requires not only diving expertise, but also specialized training to navigate underwater tunnels, many of which are dark, tight, and uncharted. These caves, often flooded, can contain dangerously high levels of silts, sharp rocks, and unpredictable currents, creating perilous conditions for even the most experienced divers. Cave divers must also contend with the psychological strain of operating in enclosed, often pitch-black spaces, where disorientation can set in quickly. The divers' training emphasizes not only technique, but also emergency protocols, including how to handle equipment failures, running out of air, and how to deal with entanglement in narrow passages. The Tham Luang cave, located in the Chiang Rai province of northern Thailand, is part of a vast karst cave system. The cave is known for its challenging network of tunnels and chambers, which can become completely submerged during the monsoon season. Its complex nature, and the fact that some parts had never been fully explored before, made the rescue effort even more daunting. Tham Luang's entrance was relatively easy to access, but it led to a series of narrow and winding passages. The underground chambers became perilous quickly as the floodwaters rose. The boys and their coach, who had entered the cave on a routine excursion, were trapped about 4 kilometers to 5 miles into the cave system. The floodwaters trapped them in a chamber with no way out and no way to contact the outside world. Initially, the group survived by drinking water that seeped through the cave walls and relying on the remnants of their food supplies. But with no means of escape and little hope for survival, they had to remain calm and conserve their strength. The initial search for the boys began shortly after the group was reported missing. A large number of local rescuers, police, and soldiers were dispatched, but they faced a major challenge: the rising water levels. Despite their efforts, the rescuers found it nearly impossible to penetrate deep enough into the cave to locate the trapped group. As the days passed and the monsoon rains continued, the situation grew more dire. International cave diving teams were soon called in to assist. Among the volunteers were some of the world's top cave divers, including Stanton, a British cave diver with decades of experience, and John Volanthen, another seasoned diver from the UK. They had previously participated in high-risk rescues and were familiar with the complex dynamics of cave exploration. On July 2, after nearly a week of searching, a breakthrough came. British cave divers Stanton and John Volanthen, along with Thai Navy SEALs, reached a narrow passage in the cave and found the boys alive. It was a moment of profound relief. The boys were tired, weak, and covered in mud, but they were alive. The divers had to reassure the boys and their coach, who were by this time terrified and disoriented. Despite the miracle of contact, the situation was still dire. The cave was flooded, and the divers had to navigate through narrow, underwater passages to reach the survivors. At the time, many of the boys and their coach did not even know if they would make it out alive. The conditions were dangerous, and the flooding meant there was no simple way out. With the boys located, the real challenge began: how to get them out. The rescue team quickly realized that simply walking out of the cave was not an option. Some of the boys could not swim, and all of them would have to be carried through submerged tunnels, which could be perilous and exhausting for the rescuers. The cave divers, along with Thai Navy SEALs, began making plans to evacuate the boys one by one. The plan involved teaching the boys how to use diving equipment, including masks, snorkels, and wetsuits, so they could travel underwater through the flooded sections of the cave. However, given the narrow, twisting passages, this was no easy task. A strategy was devised to bring the boys to safety by dividing the rescue into two parts, evacuating those who could swim first, and then transporting the rest, with the divers guiding them through the treacherous waters. Each boy was paired with a diver to ensure their safety during the journey out. The actual rescue operation took place over several days, from July 8th to July 10th. Each operation involved carrying out one or more boys at a time. The team worked in pairs, guiding the boys through the dark, flooded passages, often underwater, while fighting off extreme fatigue and the ever-present risk of disaster. The divers had to be constantly vigilant, ensuring that the boys did not panic, that they had enough air, and that their equipment didn't fail. It was a delicate operation. As each boy was escorted through the cave system, their safety was paramount, but so too was the safety of the divers themselves. The operation was further complicated by the increasing risks of the monsoon rains, which threatened to flood the cave even more. The window of time was closing, and the team had to act fast. The cave system was unstable, and there was no guarantee that the weather would hold. Still, against all odds, the rescue operation continued with remarkable precision. On July 10, all 12 boys and their coach had been rescued, marking the culmination of a successful operation that had captured the world's attention. However, the operation was not without its losses. During the operation, a former Thai Navy SEAL, Saman Gunan, tragically lost his life. He had been delivering air tanks to the divers when he ran out of oxygen and died from suffocation. His sacrifice, though, underscored the high stakes of cave rescues, and his passing was a somber reminder of the risks involved in such missions. Despite this tragedy, the rescue was considered a success, and the boys, along with their coach, were eventually freed from the cave after spending over 2 weeks trapped inside. The rescue of the wild boar football team became a global symbol of bravery and cooperation. The divers who participated in the operation, especially Rick Stanton, John Volanthen, and other international teams, were hailed as heroes. The world watched as the boys reunited with their families and returned to safety, while the world also acknowledged the unsung heroes who had risked everything to bring them home. In the aftermath, the cave rescue operation sparked debates about the ethics and risks of cave diving. While many celebrated the courage of the rescuers, others questioned whether such daring operations should be carried out in the future. The events of the Tham Luang rescue, however, undeniably illustrated the importance of collaboration, training, and preparation when facing life or death situations in one of the world's most dangerous environments. The Tham Luang Cave Rescue Operation remains one of the most remarkable tales of survival and human ingenuity. It was a testament not only to the resilience of the boys trapped inside the cave, but also to the bravery of the divers who went into the heart of darkness to save them. For cave divers around the world, it was a reminder of the risks they take every time they enter the depths of the earth. And for the public, it was a story of how, even in the darkest hours, hope, courage, and teamwork can prevail. Against all odds, the Tham Luang Cave Rescue showed us the power of human resilience and the unbreakable bond of teamwork. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible true stories.